Okay, guys, last part of the video, we are on the inside of the car. I wanted to give you a little bit of a tour here. One of the things that's always been a plague for me is door handle or window handles. These were done by a local gentleman here in Orlando, Stephen Blair. Might find him on Instagram as Madface. He did the CNC job on these window cranks, so they are a nice solid piece of billet. And then on the inside, you do have some bearings to add a really nice smoothness to this window. As you can see going down, it's good there. Now on the uptick, it is a little bit of a battle, not because of the window regulator binding, but because of the door pocket here. It does add a little bit of clearance issues. You still have plenty of clearance, but it just adds a little bit of a challenge. The window regulators were recently replaced. What we've done is taken the OEM regulator and spot welded additional security pieces on the parts that hook to the window regulator themselves. Any Mark 1 enthusiast does understand that those pieces are very, very weak and they snap like that. For me, every time I was at a show, every time I was someplace, my window would decide just to snap. So I got tired of that. So we've reinforced those regulators. So now no problems. Same thing on the other side, same thing with the window regulator, same thing with the crank. Added the door pulls for a little bit of visual effect, but also this is pretty cool. These are 944 interior handles here. As you can see, open properly. Grab the door pull, close. Glove box works, good storage bin. Added a kind of a hidden USB port here for phone charging. Always nice to be able to charge your phone, especially if you go on road trips or for a decent cruise with the vehicle. OEM ashtray is intact. OEM gauge cluster, all new VDO gauges added. These are VDO image. They match the top gauges here. And this is the original white clock that I got with the car. Operational, just thought it was a cool piece. Love the fact that it has the analog clock in it. VDO radio sourced through ECS tuning to kind of match the gauges here. This is a Bluetooth unit, lights up blue, works great, good sound. Momo Prototipo steering wheel, love this wheel. Made into a Momo hub back here, so just a little bit of symmetry for you there. Good wheel, nice feel. But yeah, everything else on the interior of the car is pretty nicely put together. Like I said earlier, non-AC car, obviously the AC controls would have been here. We've moved the radio down to add a little bit more control or gauges to the top here. This is that Luftech gauge cluster, as I said earlier. OEM lights or light switch, and there you see the illumination from the gauges. This still retains that OEM kind of that yellow greenish tint because it is an older gauge. It doesn't get the blue LED lights like these other gauges do down here. OEM hazard switch, as you can see, that is on, working. We have hazard lights going. So replace the wiper stock with an OEM wiper switch. Wipers work good, don't really run into a lot of rain problems. And of course the blinker stock here, all replaced with OEM parts. New ignition lock cylinder was done a couple years ago. I do have two OEM keys. Well, I'm sorry, one OEM key, one remake key that goes in here. Well, you'll get both keys when you purchase the car. E-brake, everything's good. Went through a lot of trouble getting the e-brake to sit properly and also function like all GTIs. This has that weird ratcheting system in there. So if you pull the e-brake too hard one day, if you get too overzealous, you might go ahead and just pull it out. Cables are well secured in because it's got Scirocco e-brake cables with those original little security balls that sit in the back of the Tech 53 kit. Last but not least, this is my OEM AC unit. I'll throw it in with the car. This thing comes in clutch on a hot day. Being in Florida, I don't drive the car a lot when it's 90 degrees outside because I'm not going to put myself through that. Even with AC, this car is basically a little metal box. It does nothing but attract heat. So yeah, I'll leave that up to the new owner. Included with the purchase will be this partial tray shelf for the back. We did fix a crack. It is not covered. I was planning to get it covered in tweed. but the gentleman that does Extreme Auto Upholstery has been out of the country on vacation, and I'm waiting to hear back. I'll include as well the small metal bumpers. These are the small bumpers MX black metal bumpers, I guess. Yeah, that's what I can say. For the car, they were on the GTI for a long time, but decided to go back to these bigger plastic ones, change up the look. Wanted to kind of add a different flair to the car, and I love the plastic bumpers. I think more than the small bumpers, but yeah, new owner, I'll throw those in. These usually retail for about $650, somewhere around there. Look good. Definitely a nice clean look. Back here, we did have all the badging redone. So Rabbit GTI 8-valve. Obviously with the ABA, the original car is an 8-valve car as well, but I thought this was a cool flare. NOS, so new old stock Hella tail lights. These things are ridiculously expensive to find in good condition now. I sourced them out of Mexico, so that was a lot of fun to find, put on, but used to have all red, wanted to go back to the more OEM look with the orange and the white on this light, so love it. A lot of people ask why I didn't go small tail lights when I did the round eye front. You know, I saw swallowtails, small tails, even mid tails are very common, but finding USA rear Rabbit taillights was really hard, and it was getting harder and harder to find cars with this setup. So with my Tribute car, like I said, I kind of wanted to have my vision. So I thought, what cool way, I'll leave the USDM taillights, I'll add the round eye front end, and that will be something that will complete my vision of what the GTI should look like. Because original intentions, guys, I never wanted to really sell this car. I never wanted to part. But as life comes at you, things start to change. If you can see, I did just get an E92 M3 back there. So that is why I am listing this car for sale. Not because, you know, the car has been a constant whatever. I'm ready to move forward. And I also have one garage space. So I need to make room. So help me out. This car is a wonderful car for cruising around, taking to shows, hanging with friends, what have you. If you want to put it in your collection, cool. But go ahead and, you know, make a bid. Thanks. I appreciate it.